Hey everybody, it's me, Tanisha O, and welcome to Tea with Tanisha O. All right, y'all, listen. The question of the day is, what would happen if you love like you've never been hurt before? What would that look like? Like, really take a moment. What would happen if you love like you've never been left, you've never been abandoned, you've never been rejected? How would you have entered that relationship differently? How would you have given it your all when you walked into that job? If you walked in there like you've never felt rejection or you could only win and succeed, how would you approach the next clients that you talk to about your business, about hiring you for something, if you've never heard no? And even if you have heard no, you didn't see it as a no in the form of rejection, but you saw it as a no because it wasn't the best fit for you and something greater was coming. What would happen? How would you go about life? Really think about how the bracing for impact, always waiting for the negative, always expecting the worst to happen, always waiting for something bad, and that's why you refuse to give your all, holds you back. But what would happen if? Really take a moment. What would happen if you loved beyond the pain, beyond the memories of the pain? If you didn't let the trauma and your body, your instinctual body that tells you, oh gosh, you can't give it your all, even though this person that's sitting in front of you is the person that you've prayed for. It's the person of your dreams. It's everything you've wanted. It's everything you've desired. It's everything that you thought and then some. But no, you can't give it your all because those memories of the past, the pain, it's holding you back. But what would happen if you actually just went for it and went for it wholeheartedly, like you couldn't fail? What would happen if there was no such thing as you being good or bad or right or wrong? It was just you are. What would happen if you believed in yourself enough to say, I'm jumping, period. I'm going for it because I can only win. I can only excel. I can only grow. I can only learn. This can only be good. There can only be a up. There can only be more versus everything else. You know, so often people talk about, I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew it was never going to happen. I knew he was going to leave. I knew it was going to be bad. When you're focusing all of your energy and attention on knowing, believing in everything fiber in your being is really turned in the direction of failure, disappointment, lack, hurt, harm, danger, people walking away, you're going to get that because that's all you're seeing in your vision. And even though your words may be saying, I want more, I want abundance, I want an increase, I want a raise, I want a new car, I want a new house, I want my relationship to shift, I want to heal my marriage, I want my relationship with my children to get better, I want a better working relationship with coworkers, I want a team of people to work for me, I want to make millions, I want to be a pensionaire, thousandaire, 100,000 there, whatever it is that you're saying that you want. But when all of your attention is focused on the lack, even though your words may be saying, I want abundance, even though your prayers may be saying, God, give me more, even though your conversations with people is saying one thing, your thoughts that you meditate on constantly is how frequently it's not working. Your thoughts are thinking about what your plan B is. Your thoughts are focusing on what will you do when it doesn't work? How will you recover? What will happen if things fall apart? What are you going to do if he leaves? What are you going to do if you get fired from this job? What are you going to do if you never get the new apartment or the new house? What are you going to do if your kids don't get better? You're focusing on all of the backup plans, the contingency plans, instead of loving, believing wholeheartedly that you've never been hurt before. You've never been let down before. And I know for some of y'all like, girl, listen, I have been hurt before. The pain does hit hard and you don't know my story. I don't have to know your story to know what pain feels like, to know what abandonment looks like, to know what disappointment, how it hits so hard, to know what traumatized is, to know what being a part of a family's secret is when you are the secret. I know what it's like to be hurt by a mother and a father, to feel rejection and abandonment of a loved one, to be left as a single mother, to be lied to about who my father is, to be disappointed in my children, to disappoint myself in the way that I respond. I know pain. And our pain may not look the same, and it doesn't have to match. But our desire to move forward is a decision. It's a decision to say, I'm going to love again. And this time I'm going to love wholeheartedly. I'm going to love with the expectation of it working out. And if it turns out to be heartbreak, at least you knew what it was like to love wholeheartedly. At least you knew what it was to love fully. At least you knew what it was to give all of you, to be vulnerable. At least you felt the joy and the excitement and the tingling in your body and the joy in your belly looking at somebody you love so much. At least you know what it's like to say, I was all in for my business. I gave it my all. I left everything on the table. There was no plan B. I believed in myself and went full throttle, because the reality is, even when setbacks happen, even when situations occur, you will still always be a million steps ahead of where you were, because you reached out, because you went out there, because you did it different. So even when you are back at square one, what seems to be square one is still probably 100 miles ahead of where square one was in the beginning of it, because every single time you're loving so hard, believing so strongly, knowing with all of your being that it can be better, it will be better. You're always moving forward, even when it feels like you're taking a couple steps back. You are flying forward versus walking forward or skipping forward or crawling forward. And sometimes it does call for that. But in those moments where you're allowing your energy and all of your being to catapult forward, you are moving forward with such a fierce energy that even when you come back, you're still further. So what would happen if you love like you've never been hurt before? What would happen if? Listen, y'all, we all need support and love. We all need connection. And I've created a mastermind group that I'm so excited to invite you to, forgiving and moving the F on in peace. You get to move on in peace. You get to believe wholeheartedly that you get to shift. It's an evolution of your soul. And these are for the go-getters, the people who are already committed, determined, dedicated. Y'all are already dope exactly how you are. So this is a group of women that are coming together who are already dynamic and ready for the next best thing, ready for the next level of whatever it is that they desire in their life. Join me. The link is right below. Click that link and join the mastermind group. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly. I'm glad to answer. But we're going to be asking and answering all sorts of questions so that you can grow. What would happen if? What would happen if? And today's question is, what would happen if you love like you've never been hurt before? I absolutely love you, and I hope to see you in the mastermind group. I'll see y'all soon. Ciao.